Hello, welcome back to the stream part two. So we are still working on the Haven tiles. This is version 15. This is just basically the design idea, the overarching theme here. So we talked a little bit about the history. We've got this Super Mario Bros. Minecraft clone, where the the tiles were, you know, 16 by 16 pixel size, and yeah, that was their individual block space, which kind of reminded me of, oh, I never thought about it, but that's kind of how Minecraft really started. And Minecraft is the de facto example. Again, we've got this world plane in 3D. This is made up of blocks, which you can only see the front face. I was talking about the fact that what we're doing is a very bad example, but you can only see one face of the block because it's hidden. But we're just using a ground plane to simulate that, and then our block spaces are um, these one by one by one block spaces, and then we're not managing variable block sizes as of yet, but it's a feature. Anyways, and then also too, Dwarf Fortress I think is a really cool thing where and this is a polygon example, um, where um, this this is apparently how I don't play Dwarf Fortress enough to know this, but I always thought this is really interesting. So you've got this arrow that's pointing dig, um, and it's like this idea that the dwarves actually fit into that block space, I believe. So that's probably how they handle that, which is, and they're nah. And it's like more like a representation of the dwarf instead of his actual size. But for me, in a rogue game, each tile is where the character sits. So that's, we'll talk about that in a minute, and when we showcase our example. And then as you dig into the channel, I was talking about that. I said too wide. I meant too high. So in sort of a Minecraft system, you can think of, maybe I should, have drawn out this picture in Minecraft style. Um, but anyways, so they'll basically will have these for Minecraft. They're 2 blocks high characters, and then so you would dig out these essentially 3 blocks in this example, but you would dig out the top block and the lower block, and then your character could move forward. That's kind of how my game works as well. Is that there's 2 block high characters, but we don't have this in between block. Ooh, excuse me, I had to sneeze. Uh, but I think it's cool. We did build this system where we do have this ground and ceiling plane, um, which may feel like, but we would actually say that this is a 2 block high tile. And I guess I didn't talk about that, so maybe I should talk about the fact that if my well, I could either think of this as this is this is the ground plane, and then underneath is the ceiling plane. But it feels like to me what I would probably want to do is put the ground and ceiling as a point, as 2 separate objects. So like, and this becomes like that, becomes our for our dungeon example, which eventually we would like to get to, but we're just comparing essentially how these 2 graphic styles look. So let's move on because we already talked about this. So this is Hamlet. This is the system I built that uses that point 0.1 block system. This is how everything fits together and works. Here's our 2 tall character. Our house is essentially 3 or 4. But yeah, I probably could have adjusted that a little bit. But then you can see this axe selection is saying there's an axe there. I guess you can't, I guess the axe is invisible. It's an invisible axe, but believe me, there's an axe there. And this selection shows you the block space that is representing. And that's like the selection. So when you move around, you can see the selection thing. And then here's the trees are 2 tiles. I guess our angle looks so bad. I was playing with angles for so long. I should probably look at how to adjust that and do a whole video on angles to make it look better. But essentially, this is our rogue system, and we do want that one tile back view, and then. But anyway, so the trees are 2 tiles high, the trunks, and then we've got a 2 tile high tree trunk. And yeah, and then you can't tell, but these are using the 0.1 tile. This is the 0.1 tile. Um, and so this is actually, the camera is looking at, from the north. And, even though, so we're kind of, the camera is essentially 180 degrees looking the opposite direction. So this is 0, 0. This right here is signifying yellow is up. The blue is Z forward, and X is to the right for red. So this is at 0, 0, 0. We encapsulate this block space. That's all I was trying to say in this picture. And even though this is not, um, and then this is our graphic representation, and we moved that by 0.5. So we talked a lot about that in the previous video. So here's our project. I guess we could just run it. Here, let Maximo, Maximo's in play. We'll run our project. We, not sure why it's taking forever. Anyway, so we've got this 3x3 block space here. Maybe we could actually come up with a better way to just distinguish our blocks. And then maybe I could put in a game mouse or something like that. So I'd probably have to copy code for that point. But anyways, because it's kind of complicated. But yeah, so there's this is our unit character. And then we talked about that we're in a 3x3 block space, and then we're in the center block. And if we move forward, it's great. And if we want to move up, you have to either jump or step assist to move up to the next block. So that's kind of where we ended the video. At this point, I'd like to be able to create a stair stepping pattern. And I'd love to have a better camera too. I guess I should have prepared that beforehand. But if you look at the other thing too, I want to talk about too is the fact that our block here, this 1x1x1 is in model space, right? This is the dimensions of what they call unit space. So 1 meter. So this is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter essentially. That creates the block space for, and this is probably why Minecraft did it this way, because, and again, it's one of the things about Minecraft, I guess I was talking about and discussing, is the fact that when I have, like Minecraft feels copyrighted to me, and technically, and in this video is showcasing that Minecraft is not copyrighted in terms of their technology. Now, you could take the Minecraft block, you could add chunks, you could add, textures. Like, I know the textures are copyrighted for sure because that's art, but the technology doesn't feel copyrightable. And I think, to me, it's like talking about this technology. It really highlights the fact that that's true, because, like, there again, you would have to go back and say, well, Super Mario Brother, and others, and like go all the way back to Rogue, talked about the unit space, the character sitting in a unit, and all this stuff. So, yeah, and I don't know, I'm not sure what Microsoft would personally feel about that. I would love to almost ask that question to them, because I don't know, that's kind of one of the major reasons why I'm leaning away from replicating the Minecraft engine, while trying to create my own game. Because I love Minecraft. Honestly, it's one of my all-time favorite games, I think I would say. Um, yeah, and then there again, Notch's OX10C would be my second all-time favorite game that never came out. Uh, anyway, so yeah, so the idea here is, in the Minecraft block style, it's really just the Blender, you know, graphics, you know, you know, dimensions, which I'm not an artist, but it's essentially that their unit space is 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter creates a square block. And then when if you want to build a, well, technically a character should probably be, in that sense, the character should be like, what's 6 feet into meters? Sorry. Google, it's your friend, right? So if you want to know what 6 feet, six 6 feet into meters would be, what, 3? Yeah, so 1.88. Yeah, so 1.8 meters tall. So really, we're almost doing that same exact thing, right? So 1.8 meters. I mean, oh my, that would feel like I'm 6'3". Here, let's do six. Can we do 6'3"? Here, let me go 6'3" into meters. Is there a way to? Oh yeah, 6 point here. Well, 6.2. There brother, you. I'm only 6'2", not 6'3". So we're at 1.18 meters. So that would almost technically mean, you know, I would really want 3 meters of height because I would feel like, you're in this cave and there's no headspace. I feel like maybe like 3 to 4 meters might be a more reasonable. But yeah, so and then here, let me say, like, what's this in 2 meters? Yeah, so 6'5", and then for 3 meters, you'd be 9'10". So like maybe 2.5. How about 2.2 meters? Be 7.2 feet. Um, but yeah, I feel like 2.5. Yeah, it's like 8.2 meters. I feel like you have to almost go with one full meter, and it's because of the float, right? When you just and I feel like that's a challenge I feel like is really important to note is that when we, oops, oh boy, what did I, when we say something is point 0.1 and we try to math that out using, okay, well, what's point 0.1 plus point 0.1, divided by 2, and like try to, use mathematics to calculate those things, it starts breaking down in programming. And I feel like I have some of the reasons why, but it's suffice it to say, when you go with solid int values for your unit and block space, it makes it so much cleaner. And that's a part of this other part of this discussion too. I guess there again we should talk about the math. Let's see. Yeah, so math, right? So math favors int values, um, float in spatial 0.1f becomes not impossible, I guess would be so there again. So to me, it's like Minecraft, we can see that the unit graphic is centered on 000. The graphics will need to be adjusted to in unit space or tile space up or down from the block space. So to me, it's like block space is like the node. Um, so we talked about the node is nodes are just kind of an abstract way to say this 111, this 000 is a node, and if we moved a whole space away, we're at 1 1. This is like whatever it is. Um, we're at x of 1, and we're moving to the right, so x is 1, and we've moved a node away. So I feel like that's a great um, use of nodes. Uh, yeah. So yeah, so the unit graphics is centered on 111 using a full uh, using a full meter block, uh, because we expand out, right? So I talked about the center. When we're in the center and we expand out, we expand in 0.5 in every direction. Uh, that's how that's how essential graphics work. But yeah, so we need to realize that if we're in Hamlet, the point 0.1, and then this is 1f, uh, we need to scale up and down 0.1 in that unit. And that's almost like exactly like the Dwarf Fortress, right? Oops. The Dwarf Fortress uses, um, I would almost argue that this is a point 0.3 in terms of, but maybe their artist conception didn't quite. I'd be interested to ask Notch what he thinks this unit space is. Is it point 0.3? Because it feels like you can put 3 blocks of this right here. Um, I should talk about that. That's actually something I did attempt at some point too. Um, is talked about this idea that when you have this, here, let me actually take this Minecraft block and put this over by 1.5, and then you can kind of see the comparison. Oh wow, why is this so? Oh no, this is 0.05. There we go. Uh, and there, so to me, it's like the other thing you could do is say, okay, well, this is point 0.2 and then 0.1. And let's take this to minus 1.5, minus 1.5. Oh, minus 0.5? What? Yeah, so you can see how um, that I feels like to me, like here, let me create a empty here. We'll call this stack, the stack, and we'll say this is -1, and then we'll just put this stack right here, and then I can do, yeah, like that. So, oh, no, okay, so the stack here, and then we can, and this would be 0.3, and this is point, it's 0.2 plus 3 plus 0.5. Um, and then we need what, two more? Am I doing this right? Yes. Okay. So this is, I guess it would be 4 and 5. So this is 0.7 and 0.9. So 0.9 plus 0.1 becomes, and there again, so we have this stackable block space that really is interesting. And I think that's, and again, you could split that down to 0.1, but I feel like, and again, so like Dwarf Fortress feels like if I was arguing this, feels like that's what Dwarf Fortress, right? So we can call this the Dwarf, let's call this the Dwarf Fortress stack. Um, and again, just to be clear, we're not talking about graphic optimization. We're talking about spatial awareness. And wow, and I'm like, is my spatial awareness is off? It feels like I'm off somehow. I guess it's because we're selecting, but yeah. Yeah, so here, and there again, here's um, the three different examples. So you've got Minecraft, the 1x1 block space, Hamlet's the 0.1, and Dwarf Fortress is this, stack space that has, and there again, like this is now, um, so we could create a 3D object here, we'll cube, we'll put this at 0.5 and 0.5. We'll set this up to point, uh, let's see, that would be 0.6, and then this is up by 0.5, no, 0.4, 0.5, yes. And then we actually take this and make this the player, right? So that to me is like, um, essentially is the player space, right? This is the player, um, and then here under the, let's duplicate this, drop this to here, and then we'll say that um, you're back over to 0. Your space is, why is it 6? Oh, because we're under the space, right? So yes, I feel like, why is that the case? Oh, because we're 1x1x1 here. Yeah, let me create a empty here, and we'll call this Hamlet. And then we'll create this here, drop this here, and put this here, and then we'll create an empty and call this Minecraft. This is like probably the best way to do it in Unity. I know I was thinking I was going to create all these separate um, examples, but to me it's like yeah. And there again, this should be 0.5, and then this should be 1, and then this should be -1, and then this is 0. Really, this honestly feels like it should be -1, and this should be 0. But yeah, and then we have this, uh, and then from here, I'd like to see, I'll just say, create a 3D object of a cube that's 2 by 1. And then again, I would have to do 2, and then this is 0.5 and 0.5 to line it up. And then this is the, the player, right? So that's the player cube. And there again, like to me, we're just talking about usable space. So we looked at the fact that really the player is not, um, the to me it's like the player is like 0.7, 0.75, 0.75, right? And really they're actually, 1.8, and this is 0.9, right? That, or 1.9, maybe. Yeah, so that to me is like how Steve sits in the world, but we're just talking about, the idea of, um, of oh no oh, two. Yeah. So we're just talking about the concept of unit space, not the concept of the actual model size, right? So that's a really important thing. So this is like point 8, and this is point 6. Now let's say point 9, point 5, point 6, and oh, this is point 8. Hmm. I'm not sure why. So I have to be here, and I need to be point 0.9, and this is 0.45. Oh, it's point 4. Okay, so it's 0.45 plus point 0.1. There we go. Yes, yes. Okay. Whew. Math. Math is complicated. Yeah. So here again, so here's an example. And there again, we could actually say this is actually, create an empty. We'll call this player geo. This is actually point 0.1, and then this will be um, 2 and 1. And this is, oh, right. This is, huh. Oh, we're in the Dwarf Fortress, not in the Hamlet. Okay. Okay. Um, that's not what I want you to do. My bad. Okay, let me duplicate this, put this here, delete this, and this to 0. And the Dwarf Fortress player is point 0.8 at 0 point or 0.3. No, 0.4.6. Oh, 0. Oh, this is actually, so this is point two, this is point 0.2. Because to me, it's like what we're deciding is, okay, we're at point 0.2, so we need to move the player above point 0.2, and then this needs to be half of point 0.3. There we go. And then technically, really, um, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's interesting to see. Yeah, it's interesting to see. So this is player block space, and technically, I feel like there's um, player unit space. Um, and I feel like this should really be, you know, 1.2 and point 0.6, right? Um, well, I don't know. Let's just say this is 2 and 1, and yeah. So you can kind of feel like there's a lot of headspace here, but no headspace here. So this is why you have to get up to um, this idea of the ceiling. um, the ceiling has to come in at some point. And it's just like, okay, well, we're already 1, 1, 2. For Minecraft, it's actually like, feels really tight, but the camera is in a first person point of view, so it doesn't feel as tight. I guess that's a major difference, right? When we look at our camera, we'll have to think about our camera as well. Here, I've actually now just screwed this up so much now, but let's say this is the the world block example, and I want to duplicate this, and we'll call this the stone block geo, and we'll just say this is, let's get rid of all the players, for instance, and this player, and we'll say this is da da da, and these are 0, and then we'll just, eliminate this and this here. Um, but here, I'll just say this is the block, this is the tile, and this is, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, Hamlet. Um, but I think to me also as well is the fact that these block spaces are variable, right? This means like And I've actually, this is what we're talking about. Even though it looks like Dwarf Fortress, we're discussing, to me, one way I was trying to solve this was by stacking multiple blocks. Uh, but let's get to the point of the video, because I feel like we're getting off track. I mean, this is a great. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Look what we've done, people. Yeah, so you can see, like, yeah, we just completely boinked everything over. Because technically what I did wrong is I wanted to use this block space now. That was my prefab. Um, oh, did I do something wrong here? Oh, I'm using the Dwarf Fortress example, not the Minecraft example. Yeah. Here, let me build some more pieces of code here. Under the material types, what we're actually going to do is, let's say game types. Um, let's call this game types. And what we want to say is Minecraft. We're going to say Hamlet, and then we're going to say Dwarf Fortress. Maybe I should ask that on a question mark. Okay, let me copy this here, and let me say the game types, and then we're going to be set game, and then we're going to say this is the game type. It'll be a new game. There's a not Notch. Yeah, no. Would be awesome to ask Notch questions, but yeah. And then what we actually want to do is say this is a serialized field game objects. Objects equals null, and then I want to say, oh no, this is just not serializable, but and then this is objects of int of game type, uh, set active to true, and then for each var item in objects, yes, item dot set active to false. Yes, go AI. Um, uh, I mean, AI is good and bad. So, I mean, I feel like, to me, AI is just, taking a Word document and augmenting your gameplay, right? It's like you would never think, oh, hey, I don't want to use Word anymore because I just want to write. And honestly, I do. To be fair, I still use paper and pencil and draw things out. And I guess I don't have some of a Wacom tablet or something to draw effectively. Um, yeah. Um, Anyways, we actually could do something similar with like our mesh renders, right? Um, hmm, I don't know. Okay. Um, yeah, so I guess here, so I'm talking like, oh, hey, our mesh renders are what's displaying. Oh, here, let me unplug this. Our mesh render is what's displaying it. So when we switch from Hamlet and tile, well, now we've got multiple blocks, but there again, so um, Dwarf Fortress here. Um, we add another, we add another, um, add a, insert a column to the right, and we'll say, hey, let me delete this column, delete columns. Okay, yeah, and then this is dwarf, right? So dwarf graphics will um, adjust to 0.2f and need to account for each tile in block space. Um, yeah, so this again, float and spatial 0.1, but then we also have this issue of, you know, 5 renderers in a block space. This is one render in block space. So, I mean, I feel like this is a positive for Minecraft and Minecraft and Hamlet, they both have one block space, so we're not. But yeah, so you could just select all these block space, make them a material mesh render array, and then set all the block space to that. I probably should at some point, but I guess this code's getting kind of crazy as it is. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. So now we can actually click on here, and I should be able to say the we're using Minecraft. We've got our materials, and we've got our objects. So now we should now hit play, and it should be back to where we were before. Yes. Okay, cool. And now I can actually just sit there and say, okay, well, that's one option, but now I can say, well, show me the Hamlet option. All right. And now it's like, and now it's not doing anything. Why not? Oh, I didn't. Now I just should apply the material and then apply the. Set active true. Oh, no, it's doing. Feels like it's doing something different. Did I not save my block space? Interesting. Oh yeah. See, now I'm having the issue now that my unit space needs to be at 0 uh, because we're yes. And then, but why are we not? Oh, I feel like what happened is the tile when it yeah. Oh, it should yes. Okay. And then actually do it like this, right? And then everybody should be happy. But it's still not. Huh. What happens to my world? Why are you set to disactive? Your stone block is the Hamlet element, which oh, I know what the problem. It's the mesh render. Yes, it's the mesh render when we're setting using Minecraft. Here, actually, um let me say here. We're gonna say switch. Let's say switch on the game type, and then we'll just say, hey, add missing cases, and then yeah, I see what's going on. So essentially, we are using Minecraft, but trying to turn on Hamlet uh, per the block space. So that's not going to be viable. So this needs to be set active to true, and then this is set active to true here for the Hamlet. And then, yes, the object space. So essentially we do need, but yeah, but when we awake, where's awake right here? Let's set the MR uh, Minecraft.GameObject set active to false. And then well, actually, technically it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't think we need to set them to false or active. And then, there we go. And then we need to say, so we're not using set, we're setting tile. Yeah, the material type. So really the material type doesn't matter. Well, no, okay, yeah, so this is different. So yeah, we're setting the material type. We're not setting the game type, and we're not, oh yeah, yeah. So I don't need to set this. I don't want to set this here. What I want to say is set and here, let me say under test Minecraft, say serialized fields, game type equals Minecraft. And then we're just going to set the game type to here. geo.set game type to this, to whatever game type we're deciding for. Nope. Game type. Yes, we set the tile. Well, we should set the game type and then set the tile. I don't know. Yeah, so now we can actually come in here, look at our tile type, and say, hey, we're on Minecraft, so hit play. We should be back to Minecraft. We're like, okay, I want to set it to Hamlet. Click play. There we go. Okay, so now we need to figure out why this looks so. Okay, so A, we need to get rid of the ground plane, right? So I feel like I'd like to actually come in here and say, hey, give me a game object down here. Game object, the ground plane equals null. And I'd just like to say that on the start, uh, set that to active false. Uh, yes. So then we'll set that active to false. But there again, you could see, okay, right away we have a problem, right? Right away we're like, oh crap. This is like, okay, we have tiles that are hidden that are not shown. So here, let me take a snippet of this. Um, this is like, okay, well, wow, we have now just created a issue with our um, basically our stitching together of things, right? So when we, yes, okay, so we now can see. Um, maybe I could let me say this is not just a Hamlet problem, right? This is not just a hey, I've now created a Hamlet problem. Oh my God, what am I going to do, right? That's not what just happened here. Let me show you the exact same problem with Minecraft, right? So when you come in here and I say I want a radius of 1 and I want my height of let me go back to Minecraft for instance. Let me go Minecraft. I feel like I should set this up how I want to first, but let me see if I can find this code. Your radius is good. Let me set my height here, right? My next position dot y minus equal to 1, right? So let me try that, and I think that will create the same problem a little bit lower. Apparently not. Oh, no, 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 this is something different. Okay, no, 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 this right here. So this will equal -1. Yes. So that's what I wanted. There we go. So here is the exact same problem, but from Minecraft's point of view, right? So here, let me say snip. This is Minecraft's problem, the same problem. Here, that's not good. New, how do I say new? Really? Can't say it's new? I might snip it. You're like, oh, I gotta have this view before I can. Yeah. Oops, Control Z, Control C, come into my here. Not unique to Hamlet. All games have this very problem, right? So to me, it's not the problem with, where we're adjusting from, right? So to me, it's like, um, we almost need to say, okay, so let me say our serialized float tile height equals 0 is 1F, right? And let me say switch on the game type. I thought, yes, on the game type. And we're just going to say, hey, you're going to add me to missing cases. And then you're going to say your tile. We don't need to explicitly, but I'm going to say 1F. This is going to say um, 0.2F, 0.2, no, 0.1F. And this is going to say 0.2F. Oops. You don't have to say that this becomes a double. Well, I guess you do. This is a double, and that's why you have to use the Fs. But yeah, and then now we can actually say, let me say public float tile height equals the tile height. I want to say that we are going to say, and then we're going to say equals the new position.y minus the tile height. Oh, and then I have to say math. Oh yeah, so now I have this issue, right? So now this is where it starts getting extra tricky, right? So now when I want to set the position here, this now has to become a vector 3, right? Because when I change my tile height, um, yeah, I have to now say, okay, now I've got to use vectors because I'm no longer able to calculate. So it's like to me, it's like, okay, well, let's say I want to use vector 3 int here, and I say, okay, math f dot round to int, no, oops, round to int here on my tile calculation, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, let's do that. We're great. Let's go into Unity. We'll set this to Hamlet. Hit play. And let's see what happens. Oh, it's freaking out. Why are you freaking out? Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, yeah. For some reason I had an extra one, but yeah, extra. Yeah. It's like, wait, where's my height? It's like, wait, I gave you a different height. The problem was is like when you look at the height here, it took the block height of 1 minus whatever and just rounded it to a 0. So it's like that's not going to work, right? So so this is um, yeah, this I think you can actually I really wish like this is great. This does not work as our tile height is now offset by 0.1f to 1f, 1f, right? So it's like this can't work like this. So now what you can do is just say, hey, give me this, get rid of this, and then put this. And there again, you're just setting the position here. Um, you're not actually using, you're not using anything. So now, see now there again. So now we're good, right? So now we fixed the problem. And to me, it's like if we go dwarf fortressy on you, I feel like it should be 0.2. Oh, okay. So this is kind of where I feel like what I'd actually like to do is kind of do. I guess we're going to just do what I was talking about. Is just come in here, take the block, um, and then take the materials is the mesh renders and just say the mesh MRs, right? Equals null. We're going to get rid of this one, and we're just going to say the M for each, uh, yes, for each object and object, blah, 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 and the MRs. So the MR in MRs, I honestly don't know. And then with material equals the selected material. I don't know why this is like the one thing like I'm not sure why in coding standard, um, you know, here let me pull up a document here real quick because I have this coding standard. Um, I started this coding standard document, code standard right here. So um, unknown reason, unknown, unknown. Oh, I was just like unknown reason why. Uh, right, sprite renderer equals SR, and then mesh renderer equals MR. And then like uh yeah, so I some reason like in my code standards, I don't know why. I'm just like, oh hey, this is an MR and a yeah, okay. And then from here, we can now block this out and take our materials. No, our oops, I guess we got errors. Okay, yeah. So this is I don't think I have to set this to active or inactive right now. We changed it to the parent object is being changed. Um, but now I just have to come into my MRs guess it's a stupid name convention, so I don't know why I'm stuck with it. But here, I just want to take my MRs and set it like that. And yeah, so that will change everything to perfect. Okay, so now, yeah, so now my unit space has to be point. Oh, what? What is my? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Let me take my test in Minecraft and let me take my another. This I feel like my code's getting out of hand here on this Minecraft. A lot of these things. So, but I want a game object for the unit object equals null, and then I want to say that my unit object dot transform dot position equals a new 0 to 0 1 0. Excuse me. Um, okay, we're back. Sorry, got a tickle in my throat. PSA for public service announcement for drinking lots of water. Okay, so we're on the test into Minecraft. I'm trying to test my unit height. I should be able to know what my unit height is automatically. Oh, the unit object is not set. Yes, this is the unit object. So I feel like sometimes this is really good, but this is obviously getting out of hand. And there's no comments. So yeah, horrible working with collab environment. So yeah, so we're good here. I think my unit space is good. Let me just run through. It feels like we should just do a destroy all, rebuild all. I feel like my unit space is good here. Yeah, my unit space is good. I guess we moved that by -1. And then for the dwarf fortress, um, never intended this, but yeah. So why does my unit space need to be 2? Huh? Is it me or am I displaying multiple? Oh yeah, we have ceilings. Okay, so what I wanted to actually do now is under my stone block, I want to maybe disable my ceiling, which is top to bottom. Really, this should actually be um, like this. My bad. There we go. Okay, so now we're actually disabling the ceiling. Um, oh, and are we still in Dwarf Fortress? Yes. Okay, so I think we're in Dwarf Fortress, but we're off by 0.2. No, we're actually good. We're good. Is that really 0.2? Well, what's the difference between that and Hamlet? I guess I am 0.2. Come to think of it, I thought it was 0.1, but I feel like 0.2 is so much better. Maybe I should like convert this over to say 0.3. Because I was looking at this Dwarf Fortress picture, and honestly, to me, it's like I guess that's like I was saying, it's like it would just be a question for Tarn. Is like, what did looking at this picture, what did you intend your tile space and your block space to be? This feels like the artist drew a 0.3 space. So let me argue that for here, the world block example, no, the world example, and let me say that this is Dwarf Fortress, you know, 0.3, and this is Dwarf Fortress 0.2, and we can now say, hey, I want to delete you and make you guys point 0.3, point 0.3. So this would be 0.1, 0.15. This would be 0.45. You doing this right? No, okay. And this would be 0.65, 0.75. 0.7. 0.7. This is okay. So this is 1545. This would be 0.6. Huh? No. 0.7. Weird. Looks like I should get. Oh. Oh, it's 0.33. Oh my God, really? Okay, well, it's 0.33. Um, yeah. I'm basically taking this block space and squishing the ceiling, and yeah, so this is 0.33 times 2 times 2. Oh no. Oh no, God. 0.33 divided by 2 plus 0.33. There we go. Woo! 0.459, and this is 0.459 plus 0.33. There we go. Oh yes, 825. Yeah, so that's sort of, yeah, more what I was thinking about. Okay, so if I do this and I say, hey, dump you out, dump you in. Oh boy. Okay, let me lock these, drag these mesh renders into here. And then we need to actually need a fourth object for Dwarf Fortress 0.3. And then we need a fourth. Oh my God. This is, I don't know. We'll call this Haven Dwarf Fortress. That's it. Honest. Call this Haven. Because I don't know. That sounds more reasonable to me. There we go. Okay, so now we can actually oh, and then from here we actually need to say the tile space, right? So we need a tile space of 0.1f, and we're in 0.33f, and then case Haven, which will be I don't know, whatever the point two point two f. Yes, yes, we're cool there. And then from dwarf is 0.3, and yeah, I feel like we're not quite there. Maybe, but maybe our unit space. Yeah, so our world is here. Actually, let me say, um, under the game mono, what I want you to do is when you set your tile type here, I want your name to equal the material type, geo, and your position. No, okay. What's this plus or here underscore your position. Oh, transform dot position, right? Yeah, transform dot position. And that will just dump everything into a yes. Okay. Well, anyway, so now we're looking at this tile here. I'm like, okay, well, yes, we are, but it's not. Okay, so I think we're good. Yeah. There. Let me say, let me do my size for Minecraft at 5. 5? Sure. 25 tiles. I suspect that we're not doing something correctly. Okay. Well, anyway, so yeah, so I mean it doesn't feel right, but that should hopefully be the Dwarf Fortress size, limitation tier of the point 0.3. It just feels like we're off by a little bit, and I don't know why. Like here's a dirt example, for instance. Um, no, so it feels like we're good here. Dirt, grass. Yeah, we're 0.33 up by 0.5. So yeah, that's my unit fill. Um, yeah, my unit fills. No. And then what are we doing on the 0.5 here for the position equals the new position, which is here. Why are we not getting negative positions? Our tile height's afloat. Um, oh yeah, no, our position, everything's good. I guess we're good on there. I thought it would be different, but it looks good. And then we're at 0.33 tile height. So I'm not sure why. Let me put a smack right here. Put a smack right here. And then I want to say the attach to Unity. And I want to say run. And so our position becomes -1, -1. And then the new position is 0.7. So feel like, yes, that's what I want, which is 0.7. I guess I'm confused. I guess technically what I've done is made all my ground positions 1, but I don't see the 0.7s. This should be 0.7, right? Interesting. Your positional data is here. Oh, you know what? Okay. Then, oh, I see. Okay, so when we change our position, we have to rename this to, um, let me say, um, let me say, public void rename. Uh, yeah. So when we change the material, well, we could just do it apply right here, and then we can actually do the rename right here as well. The bum 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 bum. Yeah, process the name change. There we go. So now we're getting 0.7. Um, so you can kind of see like that, there again. So like this is like a major, like, oh my God, point in time about math, right? We talked about that before, that there's a massive, oh, here, let me avoid that. I wanted this one. Nope, that's a snippet. Oh, here we go. So yeah, math is like the killer of, yeah. Let me insert row. No, insert a row below. Easy math, right? Harder but doable math. Math is insane. And this is not a Dwarf Fortress thing, right? This is my saying, like Dwarf Fortress, Dwarf like, right? Like Dwarf Fortress. I have no idea how Dwarf Fortress does it, but it's, yeah. It's, yeah. Is this? Oh, interesting. Yeah. 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 So, and there again, you can see like when we calculate out, um, and you cannot, right? You cannot use the position as an index. And there again, like you can. This is um, insert table below. Oh, okay. So yeah. Okay. Can store using position. Um, can't store using position. Um, and okay, so let me move on from that step. Now that we got that, let me like where are we at? We're let's see, an hour into this video, and I haven't even got to the point of the video. That's me, for instance. Okay, so now under the test Minecraft, what we want to do is kind of recode this to what we were talking about before. So we need like a public, static game. Well, this is a graphics mono geo. Goodness gracious, I didn't realize graphics was going to be um, such an issue. Yes, I'm kind of taking this piece of code and I want to say, hey, create a create a block. Um, and again, let's just give it a vector3 block position. Then we're going to say, hey, I want to cut this out here. Which it is. Okay, so this is this can't be static. I don't have enough room for static right here. And now we just need the block position. And then this is yeah. And there again, so you can do is like vector3 v index equals vector3 round to int from the block position, right? So you can use this block index to indicate where the block is sitting. And then you just return the geo. And then we're good. So now we can just say, hey, create me a block. Um, oh, yeah. Let me kind of, well, okay. Yeah, so create me a block at this position, at the O position. Let me go like void setup. I want to, this is, just code management at this point where it's like, okay, I want to, yeah, I actually want to cut to here. And I want to say, this is setup. Like that's not great for setup, but as such, setup. And then this is, then I want to say, yeah, so this is what we're working on. So really I want to say this, create a, this is actually up here. Let me say void create player area. Um, and then this is the int float height, right? Oh, this is int height. Yes. Yeah, this really needs to be float. Yeah. Um, yes, and then this is create the height. This is a float. This is a well float area. Yes, so this is the radius of the area. This is int radius, I guess. What is your oh, this is yeah. Okay, and then this is a setup, and then let's create create block here at the V position. And then this should hopefully be, oh, apparently not. Oh yeah, the O position, which is the, oh yeah. Yeah, so to me, it's like you can't really use vector threes here because it just doesn't work. So what you need to say is we're going to say the vector three, the V index equals vector three dot int, vector three int dot round to int the new position. And then you're going to have to use the index here. So now this, right, this is the node dictionary, you know, the block in the node space we are describing, right? So it's like we're describing a block in a node space, whether it be Minecraft, you know, any game, right? Any game we're building is we're describing this node space here. What is this? The same key has already been inset. Yeah, so now it's like, okay, now we're getting into this issue. Um, yeah, you know, really, honestly, to me, it's like what I want to do is say if, maybe here, let me look at the error. This specific came from the create block, right? So if no dictionary contains key of the V index, yes, equals false, then we can create the node. And here, let me do a little bit of fancy programming. Geo, and this is return geo right here. And then I want to say this is the block position in the index. Yes. And that should just, you know, ignore anything. So we're now saying, okay, I mean, that's what we're working on right now is, okay, like give me this area and then give me the new area, ignore any block positions that we're already, you know, yeah. So that's, you know, that, okay, so we're back to step one. And I feel like I can do anything. Now, step two is saying, okay, well, I don't want this anymore. And I'm going to get rid of this. Oh boy. I guess sorry, cat's deciding it's dinner time. Okay. Oh, I wish I had a camera. Well, there again, I had a camera, then I had a cat. It'd be a distraction. So yeah, so we created this this block around the player. This is exactly what we want to do. Now we want to say, okay, our height is Let's see. Let's get rid of all this. Let's say our tile height. No, let's just create the player area at the 0f, right? So now I would like to actually get back to this idea that the player is standing on 000, which I think is not correct in terms of our block space. Yeah, so our world is actually correctly defined as a the block space of 0.3 and then it's negative. Yeah, so um yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm shooting myself in the foot by going this way, but okay. Anyways, and then our unit space can be at 0. The oh yeah, so you're at 1. Okay. Okay, so let me set your unit space to 0, your cube at 1.1. No, at 1. Okay. Oh, and then really we don't need the setup of this. Oh, well, technically it's this. Um, well, let me just make this all 0f for now. And I'm doing 0f because I know I'm going to want to change this to 0.2 and 0.3 or something like that at some point. So I was just trying to compare graphics. Yeah, okay, there we go. So now we're back to what we want to see in the correct sort of world space coordinates. Now I want to say create area, void create area given a height. Where are we? The linear myriad is the radius. Here, let me say int radius. And then I can avoid that. And then this player area is the radius of 1f or 1. And then I want to say collate. Oh, I'm going to create a player area of 1 of the tile height at radius of 2, I believe, right? So I think I can just say create area. Create area. And this is going to say create the player area. Yeah, so now I'm trying to get this stair stepping pattern, right? So we're using let me do something crazy too. Let me say let me say well we actually did this really cool thing before where we took um the world, where is it? Oh, in the setup here, right? The world transform, we did this really cool create geo. So really I say no, I'm good here. Let's take this. I'll get rid of the world transform. Well, yeah, I'll just do something different. Okay. So really, okay, so I want to say, hey, I want to create a transform, right? So we're going to create a transform of the this is going to be the level transform. And then what is this transform? Do I say transform dot create? No. Okay, so it has to, oh, did I say level transform? No. Wow. Okay. Transform of T, and then T, oh, equals null. Yeah. And then I want to say this is level, and then I want here, let me go duh, 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 and I want to say the height, the level height, and then I want to say the level transform dot transforms that set parent to the this dot transform, right? And then I want to say, yes, my level transform is in my create block, right? So I want to say dot with a transform instead. And I want to say, hey, uh, transform parent. And then from here, I can say, no, 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 I'm good, right? Set parent to the, yeah. So now I'm getting like this idea now. I've got these different transforms, and now I can set this to false and feel like, yes. Okay, perfect. So that's what I wanted to do is this, and I'm not sure why the 0.3 here. There should be like 0.3, right? Is the goal here. That's what I want it to look like. So I'm not sure why it failed miserably. So we're at 0, 0, 0. Huh. Maybe it's because I set a weird create block, vector 3, uh, the position of the block index, and add that to the block index, right? So the V index is the block position, right? So I'm taking the block position. This is like the node position. Well, I don't know. Well, this is like yeah, this is the block position, and this is the node position, essentially. And yeah, so here I'll create the area of the height. Oh. Yeah, so I guess right here is the issue. Yeah, so I don't need this. I don't need this. And I want to round in the O position. And then your position will be the O position. Mm-hmm. Try that. Oh, it's. Oh, I see what's happening. Yeah. So I want to create a block at the O neighbor. And then do I have this block? Yeah, so I want this. So let me say the graphics mono, uh, graphics mono node equals node equals this. Oh, I guess that would be a good name for it too. Graphics mono node. Graphics mono. Graphics mono geo. Oh, wow. Graphics. Okay. Well, anyways, spelling errors. Okay, and then from here, I want to say this is your height plus equal to the height. Um, oh, this is 0f, right? Yes. Wait, what? Oh, no, oh, oh, right. Yes, so this is the transform dot position will equal the O position after the fact. It's kind of such a bad way to code things. Oh, it's still not happy. If this is here and your height is 0f, then you want your tile height at the radius of 2. Oh boy. Live streams, yay! Okay, so why? I guess I could just raise the entire height by 0.2. Maybe we should just do that. Um, is there a way to do that? Okay, I feel like there's a way to do that. If I say the level transform, right, and I say your transform dot position equals the new position dot x. Well, here let me say vector 3t position equals the level transform dot position, and then the yes plus equal the height, and then the level transform dot position equals the t position, and we can just ignore the t position here. Yes. All together. There we go. Success. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm moving the entire transform up. So but yeah, it's going to be easier. And to me, it's like I'm kind of now I can just say, okay, well now we can say, okay, so for da 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 I equals 1 2, I is 1 2, 5, and then we can say, hey, oops, yeah, we can say that this is yeah. Now we can say create area. If I equals 0, then the create this, else create this. Oh, crap. Um, and then this is tile height times I. Oh, well, it's just tile height times I. Yeah, I can ignore that, right? Because I is 0, then it's 0, and then this is tile height of I plus 1, which is 0. Okay, yes. Sweet. Okay, well, I'm excited, but not the tile height of the float. So it comes in here as, oh, this is 0, right? Yeah, so there we go. 0 to I to, yes. Okay, well, I feel like that's good, but it's not doing what I want. So we create the area given a height. Um, each of the height is different. Then we get the index, we set the node, and we rename it, and then we bump it up by the height of the new height. Um, all this can be ignored. All this can be ignored now, and we're done. Okay, so I just got to figure out how to get this code to yeah, debug, stop debugging. So it's the area I plus 0 is 0. I guess let me create area of create area of 0f1, right? And then if I bump this out, we should be back to the player's position. Yes, okay. And if I say, hey, create this, oh, this is the tile height, and 2, then this should give us exactly what we had. Okay, so let me figure out why I can't do the next space. I figured it was easier than stepping through code and trying to, do all this stuff. Just tile height of 3, so tile plus, oh, times 2 times, so the 0f times 1, so that's 1 times 1, 1 times whatever is with the object, this times 2. Yes, that should be, okay, well, there we go. There's the issue. So somehow these tile heights are taking a radius and ruining it. It's just not times, well, this, like, times 1 would be the exact same thing, right? That where we should now be up and out to, but we're not. Okay, so I'm not sure why. We're up. It seems like we're creating a loop and then creating a second loop at the same height, and I don't understand why. Okay, well, let me see the area. So the area is the height. Then we take the height and we bump it up. So this is the radius. We get the radius through the immediate area, which is the distance. That's the distance. Da 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 da. This is all integers at 0f. Um, so we get the, oh, okay, so then we get the area. Check the neighbor. Break the block at the neighbor. And then we assign the neighbor to the position. Do we not do that? Oh, no, 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 right here. Yeah, we are assigning this position here. The level transform to that node. Yeah, I guess to me it's like, okay, well, we should see 3 levels here. And okay, so our second level is not, why? Our second level is not the same height. Oh, yeah, this is times 2. Okay, well, that would be an issue. Yeah, but why? Why is this not 0.66? Oh, that's what I'm expecting. Why is it 0.33? Where is our Oh, somehow you got negative 3, 3. That would be why. There we go. Okay, so somehow the create block block position. Here, actually, what we can do is just create this as a um, yes, and then that would avoid any confusions about, yeah, so that's, I'm not sure why the blocks are being set to that position. Oh, right here, isn't it? Yes. There we go. Okay, so this is the O position, which is, I'm not sure why the O position was changed at all. Yeah, so we need the O position. Yeah, so really I don't need this at all. And I just round it the neighbor position. Okay. Yeah, I feel like so you can see how I code where I got 1,001. Okay, so there we go. So now we're in a much better, okay, cool. So we're now doing the correct thing, and now we can actually, okay. So now I can just delete all this, and yeah. So essentially, these are the same thing, right? This is, this is iteration 0, this is iteration 1, this is iteration 2. That's exactly what this is supposed to be saying. But I'm like, okay, well, let's just, do it step by step and debug it and figure it out. Um, Perfect. So now we've got this really nice stair step pattern that we, 5,000 years ago, that's what we were trying to get across. That's the whole point of this entire series. But now I'm done, right? So now I can say, okay, cool. That's one step, and now I can say, okay, we'll compare that. Let me. I don't know if I should get my camera. Let me take my camera. Let me turn. This is almost where you need a camera manager. So let me turn my camera off and turn on not the fancy, yeah, the fancy camera, but the main camera. Yeah. So that's um yeah, let me do that. So I can turn off this camera, turn on the main camera. Okay, turn off this camera, turn on the main camera. And I want to say this is 2. We go 2. Oh no, I guess this is 8. Let me say 7. And I want to say what, 45? And then 0? No, I guess -7. Yeah. What, I guess what is that edge? What is that edging? I feel like it's edging on the shadow. That's a shadow that's creating that edge, right? Wow, what is that? Here, if I turn off the directional light, yeah, it's an edge shadow. That's like, wow, that's horrible. Yeah, it's like this edge shadow that's the side. Yeah, so if we turn off, yeah, it's like, wow, okay. Here, let me go step height of int step height of 10, and then just go this to step height, step height. I could do like a space reload, reload the scene. Oh, here, let me, um, you know, 15 minus 15 divided by 2. Oh, no, here, let's go 10 by -15. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, look at the, woo! Now look at the, yeah, it feels like a shader is really, like, really necessary at some point, right? So, let me say, 7 -5. Yeah, I feel like that's good. I feel like that's a good. Here, let me 7 -5. Oh, my cat's like, oh my God, I'm dying. I'm like, you're not dying, cat. It's. I know dinner's about an hour ago. But yeah, okay. So let me snip this, and then this is the example. Let me get a new sip on that. That didn't feel right. Yep. Oh, here, let me maximize on play. And then, yeah, and get a new snippet. There's the money shot right there, people. Yes. Wow, with that horrible edging. Look at that horrible edging right there. Like, oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Yes. What is this? Okay, so here's, yeah. Okay, so this would be down to here. This is, uh, this. This is the dwarf fortress example, I believe. I always say Control S because that's like how you save. Like Control Shift F is how you save in um, Visual Studio now. So now we can look at their test Minecraft. We're in our dwarf fortress. Let's go into the Haven mode. Hit play, and then we should see. Yeah, so you can see our slopes a lot smaller. Feel like it's a lot, a lot more unique. We still get that horrible edge shading, but I feel like that's just a graphics. Um, Here's the let's work backwards. This is the Hamlet uh, 0.2 F tiles, and then yeah, I feel like that's great. And then what do we have? Um, and then we want to go to the Hamlet. Yeah, so and there again, like this is like wow, the it feels like the point one. I'm not sure why. It just feels like the point one isn't really good. Uh, this is the Hamlet view. I really wish I could say give me a standard screenshot of every single because it's like I've got errors in the okay, and then from the Minecraft version. Yeah, so now it's like, oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so let me our player what happened to our player? It was like our player died, so now this is kind of where you need to say, hey, under the setup, um on Minecraft I need 1F. Um yeah. Because we're out of that entire block space. So we have to move an entire block space up. Oh man, look at that edging. Yeah, the edging is so horrible. Um, ugh. Oops. Oh, I didn't copy. There's a way to take a screenshot of the. I'm sure there's a way to take a screenshot of the entire um, uh, Unity screen. Okay, so then this is the. Oh, yeah. Look how different that looks just on the. Anyways, okay. Um, Minecraft style. It's actually interesting too. It's like if you look at this, like right, if you look at up here, um, we can see, basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks away, and here we can see, about the same, right? It's pretty close, um, and pretty close here. But you get down to here, it's like you're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks away. You're like 6 times the space, which is interesting too. It's like, why is that not? And we're actually up a block space, so it's like, yeah. I'm not sure why this block space right here at the point 3 example um, doesn't work. I think it'd be cool too if you could say, hey, if you're between X and Z, carve it out, right? So to do carve out the player's path forward. Um, yeah, so I'd like to be able to say, hey, carve out these 3 blocks, like maybe these 3 blocks, and carve me a space. Um, but yeah, This is almost like we're dots, right? I should mention, like, okay, so I mean, I think we're done. We need to go feed the cats anyways, but so yeah, so we've got this really great. Uh, we we are a full block space above everyone else, so we have to bump ourselves up that block space. Um, we've created a really great world block example here. And there again, like now we need a another uh, Dwarf Fortress 2. Um, Let me copy this to say you're 0.2F, and then 0.2, and then you're 0.3. And yeah, somehow we're, let me, why are we not, oh, is this, yeah, so this needs to be -1. No, this is 0. This is -1. This is going to be -2. And I want to say the 0.2 example. Oh, this is the 0.2 example. Yeah, so we're here. So really I want to say this one as 0.3. Um, God, I now have to figure out all that math again. Sorry. I got to figure all that math out again. Okay, so this is all 0.3. This is 1.5. And then why are you, oh, this is all, yes. This is all, oh, this is 0.15. There we go. So yeah, so we're 0.15, so this is 0.45, and this is, oh, oh, sorry, my bad. 0.33. Um, yeah, and then let me say 0.3 divided by 2. Oh no, it's 0.33 divided by 2. Um, and then yeah, so actually isn't this just 0.65 times 3? 0.165 times 3? Oh my God, yeah, it is. Of course. Of course, of course, of course, of course. Um, yeah. Um, and there again, like here, um, yeah, the unit space of the block is there again. You can see that why that unit space of the block has to be. And again, like probably the unit space is point 3, point 2, point 1, right? The unit has to move up. It's probably not visible on the screen right now, but I bet I wonder if the player is embedded into the world at some point. Okay, so then why are we? Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, we wanted to reverse these. I wanted to reverse these because it's the ceiling. We're going from top to bottom, essentially. Yes. Okay. And then perfect. So I want to reverse this as well. Not sure why. Yeah. So this is 1. Naming doesn't matter at this point, but 3. Um, why does this feel like? Oh, it's plus. Oh, it's 0.165 times 3 times 3, and this is 0.165 times 4. Wow. Point, 0.165 times 4. There we go. I feel like that's going to be better. No. No. Okay, why is this not better? Wow. Okay, so we're good here. Is this like point? Oh no, yeah, point. So 0.495 plus one, plus 1.165. No, it still doesn't feel right. I feel like we're not. Those two are right, but this is like point. Oh, maybe plus 0.165. There we go. Whew! Which is 0.825. Yes, of course. Now I remember. Now I remember the number now that I'm done. But yeah, so that's but yeah, so this is and then again, so like to also the correction here, just to confirm, is that when you move the character actually has to now move up point 0.1, 0.1. I knew that. That's why I did all this. And then 0.3 here because we're sitting now on top of block space. Um, Again, you can see like these nodes. This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's like we are, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, really. So it's like we need to start taking over more and more nodes as that's what I'm talking about next. It's like, okay, next you need to start saying, here's the carving example. So let's go backwards. I don't think this will actually change visually anything. Oh, wow. But it's okay. Um, why is that feeling like we've changed significantly? The unit space is 1. Why is the unit space 1? We are Minecraft. Oh, oops. No, 0.1F. You probably saw that and was screaming at me through the window. There we go. Okay, so I feel like that was like an issue. You just couldn't see it because of you'd have to really look at the graphics. Um, uh, yeah, you could probably handle that with a physics check when you drop the object down. But to me, it's like this is purely, that's one of the core requirements is not to have a physics check into the example. Cool. So yeah, I really wish there was a shader of some sort we could get, like a toon shader or something. I think there's here. I might stop the video, import a toon shader, feed the cat so he's not bugging me, and come back. So I feel like that's pretty much what we wanted, right? We wanted we didn't do the analysis, right? So I think maybe at some point when we come back, we'll do the analysis of how we think. But we already talked, like this looks really good. Um, um, but yeah. Um, and I feel like this is just even point. We should actually try a point 0.5 block space. Maybe we'll do that as well. We'll do a point 0.5 block space. Um, to do. Um, God, where's that? Oh, up here. Yeah, let's say uh, to do apply a 0.5 block space for slabs, like a slab world. Yeah, so slab world. And anyways, okay, that should be good. Thanks very much. I really appreciate it. We basically looked at the Minecraft versus Hamlet and deciding that the block space versus the point 0.1 block space. Um, I feel like the point 0.1 block space doesn't really do it justice. It's too small, too negligible. And again, this is not about a graphics decision about how many polygons we're putting on the screen. It's just kind of moving around and manipulating a world. Um, and I feel like Minecraft is great, but it just feels like but there again, you look at the stairs, the half slabs, you actually got mods can actually do a per pixel, uh, a bits. They can do bits where it's like you can, take a block space and tear it apart into 64 bits. And they do it for early performance, so that's amazing. Um, yeah. Um, and we could do a voxel sort of world uh, with um, with something else similar, but yeah, just trying to to test the different graphic options, like just the visuals, not the performance. Anyways, thanks very much. I've been Micaiah. This has been a great, hopefully, success. I really enjoyed. I looked at the other one and it felt really good. I've got this really nice setup, and I can't believe how easy it was to implement OBS into YouTube. It was like, wow, that's easier. Um, yeah, I need to get the chat enabled and other things like that. But yeah, hopefully this will work out, produce content, and move forward.